One of my biggest weaknesses as a human being is having a tendency towards instant gratification or choosing temporary or immediate pleasures over something that wisdom could cultivate over time. And if you can't tell already, I am at a public park with my daughter, so you'll just have to deal with the kids' noises. Anyway, the other night, which I think it was actually last night, I think the Father was speaking to my heart a little bit. Because here's the thing, I have often really struggled with being a good steward of my time, of my finances, of my attention, and my intention. And what most people would see, and what I've seen for a long time, is a lack of self-control, right? I guess one of the cool things about being on a healing journey is you start to look for the patterns or the reasons why behind certain behaviors. And in this case, the lack of self-control, the Father was kind of showing me some possible explanations or what's behind those layers. And somebody struggling to be a good steward of their resources, of their time, etc., it could be as simple as just not being taught at a young age, or growing up without much of anything, not having money so you don't know how to manage it, and those types of things, which I deal with. But the bigger part that my Father revealed to me the other night is that when you struggle to plan for a good future, like investing in the future of your time, money, attention, intention, and you're only kind of focused on the moment of pleasure in the moment, immediate gratification, you are showing yourself that your future is not worth planning for. Somebody who is confident in themselves plans for a good future. Somebody who is not confident in themselves plans for a bad future. And the Father really kind of showed me that my lack of self-control or my choosing immediate gratification over and over is subconsciously telling my own brain that my future financial situation is not going to be any better, so what's the point of planning on it? You know what I mean? For people with ADHD, it can show up as like decision paralysis. So if there's so much to do, I don't know where to start, I'm going to just sit and do nothing because it's so overwhelming. Which is something else I struggle with. If I don't write a list and make something manageable, multiple things that I have to do, it seems so overwhelming that I often just find myself zoning out and doing none of it. But every time I choose to waste time or doom scroll or sit and do nothing or watch a show rather than what I feel I know I should be doing, I'm choosing to put one vote in I don't believe in myself versus I believe in myself. It's a vicious cycle, and one bad habit leads into and adds into the next one and increases the bad cycle. So yes, mindfulness, making a choice to believe in yourself does play a huge part, but it's also what habits you build into yourself, your subconscious rather. Starting to set small, easily attainable goals and getting yourself used to setting those goals and keeping them. That builds trust within yourself, which leads to setting larger goals. Every goal you set and then achieve builds your self-worth and your self-confidence. It's really never as easy as just choosing to have more self-control. I've worked on building self-control in the past, and I've had some really good seasons and then some not good seasons, but I feel like what the Father's revealing to me now is He's giving me the tools and awareness that there's a deeper underlying issue that has to do with my own self-confidence, the belief in myself, and the amount of work that I'm willing to put into myself. I work super hard when I'm making or doing something for somebody else, but if it's for myself, that work ethic kind of goes away. I didn't stay long enough to complete the video at the park, but in summary of what I was talking about, for those of us who struggle with self-control in stewardship of our time, finances, attention, that sort of thing, there is probably an underlying cause to that lack of self-control. So rather than just feeling negative about yourself because you struggle with self-control, You can give yourself some grace and recognizing, like, hey, I struggle with confidence in this area. And once you realize why, you can start to take steps, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, of setting little tiny, more attainable goals so that you train yourself to trust yourself more. I've actually already made a video about that concept. But if you work on building your self-confidence, the type of not just external confidence, but confidence that your time has value, your ability to plan for the future has value, and that sort of thing, or like that you are worthy of having a good future, and you retrain your brain to process information that way, you will start to find yourself more motivated and able to make wise decisions with your resources, with your time, money, energy, and all that. I truly believe that the first step into learning to be a good steward of the things that the Father gives you has nothing to do with practicing of being a good steward. It first starts with securely finding your identity, your purpose, and calling, and value in Him. Standing firm in your identity is what gives you the ability to plan for the future that your Father has before you. And it's that identity, standing on the rock of who you are, is what gives you the ability to then invest into your future. Even though I have been on that journey of solidifying my identity in my Father, I do still struggle with being a wise steward, but nothing like I used to. Very, very recently, I've started to get to a point when I've been able to bless others with my finances, and I don't know, that in itself is not something I ever would have been able to do, but it was a long process to get me to where I am today. And right now I'm in a big trial in my personal life, and I'm not going to go into too much detail, but my focus and my determination has slacked a little bit, and that's obvious because I haven't been making as many videos. Honestly, my life has just been a little bit nuts, and there's not been as much space or time to make the videos. But I've also seen and felt the conviction within myself that I'm just wasting a lot of time right now. So honestly, I guess this video is a little bit of a confession and a little bit of me getting back on the horse. My Father has shown me who I am, and it's time I started acting like it. Shalom, everybody. Thank you for listening, and I do hope this blesses you.